fucking cunt. We're live with Mr. Shaun Sidey, personal trainer.
What's up?
Shaun Sidey PT, you're a local celebrity
Non-COVID believer.
Yeah, anti-masker.
Anti-masker, anti-everything.
Apparently.
So you went viral, what was it, 2 weeks I'd say now?
A week ago.
You're killing the
Friday.
baby, Sean.
Because what was your video about? Why don't you go
Grandparents.
through it with us, your thought process before, during, and after?
Okay, so for a while now, I've kind of felt like everything going on in terms of like the lockdown has been not the best method we could be doing, and then none of the rules seem to make sense, and you can do your own research and do your own reading online and kind of see there's a lot of inconsistencies what's going on with like what the government's actually saying and then their actions. So I've been getting like increasingly frustrated, and it seems like a lot of people were not on the same page as me and not really understanding. I talk to my friends and they think I'm fucking crazy, so I'm like, but
Not all of us. I don't think you're crazy.
not all of us, that's true. There's a few of us who agree, but they all agree in silence, right? And then there was a few nights, and like I heard that like this most recent lockdown was coming, and I felt it was like super unjustified, and like I was losing sleep. Like there's a few nights in a row where I didn't sleep, and that's not like I usually like sleep well.
The
And I was-
government's taking the
That's
toll
white
on the mental
privilege
health.
itself
I
right
know,
there.
like, I couldn't
Sleeping like a baby? Like, what the fuck, bro? You sleep all the way
So-
through the night?
I don't know, I was fucking pissed. And then I was like thinking about it, I'm like, okay, like I made like a video about like the Krispy Kreme promotion about like how like you get
Yeah,
like a free
I think that was the first video that
Fuck
that
up your
sparked
immune system
everything.
for taking the vaccine.
yeah, like if you show your vaccination card, you'll get like a free donut for every day of 2021.
Which
I'm
Doug
like,
probably went right there right after getting his
immediately-
vaccine.
Immediately.
That in itself was kind of fucking bullshit. Like, you
It
know what I mean?
was.
Like, it's a donut. Like, if you really want me to like go all in on that promotion, like, you better call up at least a dozen.
I found out that they give away free donuts every Monday.
They throw out so much extra. At the
I didn't
end
even
of
know
too.
that, but like, I don't like.
Oh, really? They
And
give
the
out
lines
free?
are so long, anyways. Now you have a bunch of fucking
It's a
assholes with the
fucking pain
COVID
in the ass.
vaccines.
Me and Jen actually went to Krispy Kreme probably like, I don't know, a month before that, and we bought 2 dozen and like shared it with my family. They were amazing.
The new one in
So,
Scarborough.
like,
there?
When they're like
Like-
freshly hot and they're just like airy.
Yeah, you gotta
should-
eat
I
them
don't
almost
know.
in
They
the
should be
car.
illegal,
You gotta
bro.
eat them like right when you pick them up.
Yeah, we
almost.
did. We boxed off
Bro,
like 4.
we got to Mississauga and we ate like I would say 6 on the way back.
They're so good.
Yeah.
The Oreo one, it's like crusted with like Oreo.
No,
and then, like,
bro,
there's,
I'm
like,
original,
Oreo
fam. I like the
cream.
original. Like, I don't mind novelty
So good.
donuts. I love a novelty donut, but when I go to places like
Only
Krispy
one.
Kreme and Tim Hortons, just give me a
He's
honey
an
dip.
old white conservative man at heart. Obviously, you'd want like. No,
I'm
I
an
want
old
the
conservative white
original.
woman, bro. Not a white man.
We keep telling you this.
It's a white woman, because I was like experiencing all the privilege, but I don't want to claim that I got the privilege. I want to say that I had just as tough as a person of color. So I'm a conservative white woman.
Fair enough. So, anyways, back to you made the Krispy Kreme video.
Yeah, so I made the Krispy Kreme video, and it got like a lot of good feedback on it. And then I made a couple more videos that week, and then I didn't do anything for like a week or so, and then I was getting like increasingly mad because they were making like more stupid rules, and like I saw this document that was saying like they were gonna do a stay-at-home order after the
Easter,
Yeah, after,
which came out in
Mind you-
October. That document, I think.
Which
I know what
which
you're
which
talking about.
dickhead said that they were not going to do another stay-at-home order because they found out that it was too
It was like
Too
Christine
dangerous. Was it-
Elliott or something. It
Yeah.
was like literally a
Isn't she
week
not?
before.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't she there being like, yo, we're not gonna do another lockdown? Like, it was too damaging, blah blah.
yeah,
and then,
they
like,
did it a week later.
Then they're like, yo, it's not actually a lockdown. It's a stay.
it's an emergency break.
Yeah,
Emergency break is hoax. Like, are we drifting?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're drifting into the like fucking summer. I'm down
It's
for
the
that.
modeling. Like, the modeling is saying the numbers are gonna go mad high. Like,
Honestly,
bro,
we
shut
would have
up,
responded
bro.
better if during the emergency break, Doug formed it like, guys, this is not an emergency break stoppage. We are drifting into like reopening. You know, if he branded it differently, this is Ontario drift.
There's no way to brand it properly because, like,
no one
when you
wanted
look at
it.
other places how they have their lockdowns, like, their lockdown is like pretty like firm and off the hop.
They
There's
did a
no
real
half-ass
lockdown.
around
Yeah.
it, and because all
No
we've done is
planes in.
half-ass lockdowns, there's like people don't respect it because like they hear the word lockdown and look at other places lockdowns and they're like, well, why does it work there and not here? And it's because those lockdowns
Why
are
is
for
there
real.
traffic?
Yeah.
Like, you're
Well,
just
Nova
like,
Scotia's
those
open
places are, like,
gyms at
barren
full
streets.
capacity now. Nova Scotia's at 100% capacity for gyms, retail, and everything. But they didn't allow travelers coming in the province. That was like the
Yeah,
number
but
one
fuck,
thing.
bro, who thought was going to Nova Scotia anyway? Let's be honest. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's
Halifax is...
It's not popping there,
where are the
let's be honest.
international
Summertime,
travelers
yeah.
coming to
Summertime.
Nova Scotia? Like, you're not gonna get
people
a
from Nova
a
Scotia.
boom of
maybe.
people from China coming to Nova Scotia.
Shout out to Pat's Day.
Yeah.
So you make this video. So like the Krispy Kreme one's done, and then you decide to fucking make one to just
Yes.
fully go against lockdown.
Yeah, so I just like was in my car And I was just like thinking about
as all great white men that create content do, sit in their car and make a video.
100%.
I just hit record.
They have to be in their car.
And I had a couple
It's a
things
safe
that I
space.
wanted to touch on, and then I just kind of let it go from the rip. And like, as I kept going, I didn't prepare anything. Like I was just spitting off things about how I felt, and like so many people, freestyle. A lot of people were just messaging me and be like, "That's exactly how I felt." Like
Most people edit their videos too, and that was just like
it's just one take.
You went on
one
the
take
dome.
straight 8 minutes of hell. Like
That's
hold this.
that's 2 nights of no sleeping.
Yeah, literally. I was preparing in my sleep, like.
But that's
unconsciously.
crazy. But the thing with you is like, which I like better than the Chris Sky approach, is you're more of a well-spoken, well put together individual. Where like,
He's not
so
a
I
dickhead,
could
like-
read a video and then like I know you, but if I didn't know you, I could see this guy and be like, this seems reasonable. You know,
Yeah.
You know
Chris
what?
Sky, I see it off the bat. I'm like, oh.
At the end of the day, because he's a personal trainer, I feel like people always have that kind of like bias because like the whole gym industry is under fire by
you
a lot
guys
of
are
what
getting
Doug
fucked
Ford's
the
doing,
most.
right? So people always look at it as like, well, your job's not running right now. That's why you're so mad. At the end of the day, like it's not fair, but that's the angle people go on because I feel like a lot of personal trainers are saying similar things to you. They're like, why my industry? Like people don't even fucking come to the gym like that. And the ones that do go to the gym are usually pretty fucking healthy, so they're not as shook about COVID because if they get it, they'll probably either have no symptoms or the sniffles because they've been taking care of themselves.
What was the main points of your video? Like if you had to like summarize it,
I
because there was
couldn't
about a
even
5-minute
remember.
rant.
There
But
was-
like
I couldn't even remember, but like
I would say it would just be like the lockdowns are nonsense, and if you take
not
care of
based on
yourself,
science kind of thing.
if you take care of yourself, you're more likely to not have adverse effects from COVID than someone who just says I'm going to wear a mask.
a big thing that I was talking about is like, and like people watch my video and they're like, oh, like you're promoting not wearing a mask and like you're an anti-masker. It's like, we have accepted that wearing a mask is like a fucking invisibility cloak and you're just like perfect. And if you wear a mask, you will protect and
Yeah,
it will
COVID,
save.
can't, COVID can't see me now. I'm wearing a mask. It's like,
And
buddy,
it's not-
you're touching a million things in the fucking store, then touching your face, taking off your mask. Like, you're not cleaning your mask
No
every
one wears it
single time.
properly. To wear a mask properly, you have to wash your hands
First
prior.
of all, you have to wear multiple masks today. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
You have to wear multiple fucking, what is the FDA or NDA? What kind of one is it?
It's the N95 or
Yeah,
higher.
you have to wear N95s multiple times a day and change them. If you're wearing the same cloth mask multiple times a day, you're a fucking clown.
I've
Like,
worn the same cloth mask than from before the pandemic.
yeah, I'm on my third or fourth mask right now, but like,
But let's be honest,
that's
like
not
we
that
all
great.
use that crumpled up mask in
Yeah.
our fucking car, and you reluctantly put it on.
No.
and you're
sneeze
like,
into it.
you're
Like,
I gotta say,
fuck, like I, which is not what it's for. You know
I
what I
was-
mean? Like,
I sneeze into mine because I know you're not supposed to sneeze outside of it.
No,
Like,
I was way ahead of this mask wave before anyone because like a few years out, I bought a bunch of those. You know those buffs, those bandana ones.
no,
I was-
Future was the first one.
But
to
I
be
was
on this,
selling
so
those
yeah.
for time, and then like all my buddies are like, I just sold out of all my stuff. Then the pandemic hit. But you know the ones I'm talking about, like the bandana buffs. It's like a tube.
yeah.
I was
It has like a
selling-
clown on it.
Yeah. I was selling those for time, but right before the pandemic, just missed it. But I've been wearing those like from like just greasy little like. There's literally cloth. Like you could blow out a fucking light easily.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm spreading. If I'm sick, I'm spreading to people in the virus. But I'm wearing a mask, so it's cool.
I think what's cool,
don't
like,
know.
I know you touched on Chris Sky, and like I know he can be like aggressive and off-putting to people, but like
And racist.
he's not racist. He actually
He has a personal experience with them being racist. Racist.
I can't speak on that. I just know that like what he's doing in terms of like actually trying to like promote the movement of like fighting for your rights and standing up for that, I think that's extremely important. And like
It
if
is.
people swear and like are aggressive and are off-putting, I'll tolerate that shit
Yeah.
if you're actually doing
The
something
right
that's
message.
The right
It's the
message.
same thing. It's like sometimes
No,
it
but
takes
same thing with the guys that did the no frills. They did the same thing too. It's just like we need to realize that like if you're gonna be one of those guys that can just go to a store maskless with cameras and prove that you can buy something, you're gonna be met with hostile force.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I guarantee you, if you just go there and be like, hey, like half the time be like, hey, I have a fucking medical condition, I don't have to
They
wear a
give you no
mask.
problems. They
Just-
give
yeah.
you no
You
problems.
just walk
I've
in and
never
walk
had a
out.
problem.
Yeah. But when you go in there with the camera trying to prove something, then it becomes this whole thing of like a liability for the store.
exactly.
Because they have to
You're coming
prove
to
that
get- you're trying
they
to
have to
get-
stop you from, you know what I mean? Because other people won't shop there. It's not even about like
It's
it's
two
not
sides,
it's not
right?
illegal.
Because I think people are
like the health people are going to
filming
come there
it.
and shut it down because you're there with no mask.
They're not gonna
Just
get
that
there in time.
The
By the time you
public
buy this
perception is
stuff.
going to be like they're letting anti-maskers in the store. It's not safe here, and because people are so afraid of COVID, they're like, oh my god.
it's two sides to a coin, right? Because you have like the side of like they have to be liable, but also I understand why they film it because you have to show other people that it's possible. Because the amount of people
Oh, I
messaging me be
agree.
like, "Can you actually go to store without a mask?" It's like, yeah, you just say you're exempt. And being exempt
I do
doesn't
all
mean
the
you have
time.
like
I
some
say I forget
extreme
my mask.
disability. It can literally be like, I get anxious, I get a headache. Like when I put on a mask, for more than like 30 seconds, I get a brutal headache. Like, do I have to put that and I have to fucking hurt my own body on the off chance?
That's the real question.
On the off chance that I might be sick when I'm not sick? Like, how do you know you're sick? You just know.
I'm going to be honest with you.
And that's my issue with COVID is that
asymptomatic spread is it's insignificant, bro. So to say that everyone has to wear a mask, I saw in Quebec, you have to wear a mask outside now. Quebec, like outside, transmission is like non-existent outside, and asymptomatic spread is very low, if anything. So how can you say you must wear a mask? Like, that's what I don't like is like how things are mandated and things are banned. Like, people should just be able to have agency and personal choice and be able to make good decisions for themselves.
Yeah. It shows a lack of faith in the public being like, well, people are stupid, they're just not going to wear a mask, or people are dumb, they're not going to take this seriously. But it's like, well, at the end of the day, if you have flippy-floppy rulings on shit and you lock down and you don't lock down, people are not going to take it seriously anyway, and all the rules will fall apart. People
if you had a hardcore lockdown for like a month and you're like, okay, literally you're not allowed to leave your house, like all rent stops, all bills stop, military will drop off food at your house, like borders are closed, like an actual lockdown, I can respect that. Even though that would be more infringements on your rights, so to say. It would be because
do it properly. You're gonna have to do it
properly. But in that way, COVID would actually be contained.
Exactly. You go to Costco.
You can't contain.
Not to use that example, like I know it's overused, but there's literally 600 people in that building. But you can't have 10 people spaced out in mass at a gym. That makes no sense. Where you're working on your health.
But even 10 people in a gym is ridiculous. A gym is a massive.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's like half the size of Costco.
What can you compare? Like that's what I'm saying. Like a good life
is a quarter of the size, but still.
And even a small gym, like a relatively small gym, you could have like you know like an Anytime Fitness. You could have 10 people in that size gym, and that's a fairly small gym.
How about let people put the risk back in their own hands? You let people buy cigarettes.
And that's the main thing, yes.
You know
that is
the
thing. That is all it comes down to. It's not, even if you say masks are effective or they're not, even if you say the vaccine is good for you or it's not, it's your fucking choice. Like, why? Like, I'm a believer.
Let us be accountable.
I'm not going to say you have to never eat McDonald's again. I'm banning McDonald's because it could kill you and it puts stress on the healthcare system. I don't say that. I don't say cigarettes are banned. I don't say mandate exercise. You have to mandate go for an hour walk a day. Like, no, people can do whatever the fuck they want.
Which wouldn't be a bad mandate in COVID. We mandate you go for 2 hours of light cardio per week.
Like, my mandates would have actually done something. Like, that's why I say the problem with the mask versus like having a healthy immune system is infinitely more important than a mask.
Would you ever run for politics though?
No.
That's the thing. There's so many like the best thinkers. Most of us are too smart to want to get into that field.
It's too corrupt to feel like. Honestly, I feel like it's almost a hopeless battle. I don't mean to sound defeatist, but like I'm realist as well. Like I know how fucking impossible it is to get anything past. Those dicks don't agree on anything.
And you have to have people that are behind you too, and lobbyists that are behind you, which means you also have to like sell yourself in a certain way because you're gonna have to lobby for things that you don't necessarily believe in.
Like for example, like. To show how shady politicians are, like, whether you like Donald Trump or not, when they were going in the election, all the Democratic people were holding up the relief fund and, like, holding up lockdowns to make him look bad and to fucking just fuck over the economy, basically, so that Trump would look bad. And they knew that they were keeping money away from people.
They don't want to bail out. They'll print money for corporate buddies, but they're not going to print money.
But
they don't like
Biden comes in, they're like, I think we can work out $1,400.
But even still, he promised $2,000 off the top, and then it became 14. It's just like less and less.
And Trump was going to suggest the $2K, so you know. And at first they were offering $5. Like
where's Trump been? He literally went off.
He's in hiding, getting ready.
What for the Great Awakening?
For the Great Awakening.
Are you a Q guy, Shaun?
No, I'm not a Q guy at all. That's bullshit. That shit is all wrong.
You don't think elites are drinking babies' bloods? Because we don't either, for the record. No one here thinks that.
No, I think Donald Trump is infinitely better than Joe Biden. I'll say that.
Yeah.
As much as Donald Trump
doesn't even know where he is half the time.
That's what I mean. Like,
honestly, you know what would be sick? Trump Biden combo. Like Trump's the vice president and Biden's the president, or like back to back. So like they would find common ground on something. They'll be like, okay, like we'll only bomb one city in Syria. You know, they will find common ground. We gotta feed these military contracts.
Donald Trump actually has a backbone though, and he'll actually be like, "No, this is what I think is morally right, not what my party thinks I should do."
But the thing I will give Biden, I'm critical to him, but I think he plays dumb. I think he's a lot smarter than he puts off. I think he purposely puts off this dumb.
I think he's like gone.
That's what I think he's
gone.
I thought Trump.
I think he's a clone. I think it's better off he's a clone. I think it's more likely Joe Biden's like just like a CIA clone. They're like, yeah, we just need this fucking body so we have our control.
He's just an old man, bro.
Yeah, you could clone an old man. That guy
No,
looks
but
like he could just easily
No, he's
just
just an
made it in a
old man. It's
lab.
falling apart.
He almost
That's all
falls
it
down the
is.
stairs on a weekly basis. Like
They know it's gonna get memes.
He like half slipped the other day. I was like, no, we're gonna have a video of him actually tumbling down the stairs.
Yeah, man doesn't even know what he's talking about halfway through his video, loses his train of thought and shit.
I want the video of Kamala pushing him.
You know, anyway, that video.
Yeah.
It's jokes, man.
How do you think this next Canadian
not a
election
good
will
look.
go? We have the federal one coming up. What is it? The spring coming up here?
I
or fall?
I feel like
People's Party.
I think Trudeau's done.
Okay, do you
I don't
guys
think
know
it's
who the
Trudeau's
conservative guy is?
O'Toole's a fucking plug
He
too.
sucks, bro.
He's even like you're better off having Trudeau again.
No,
than
no,
him.
you're not.
They're
But,
even
like,
the same.
you're
They're pretty
not.
much on
You're
even
not
playing field.
because like Trudeau's actually I feel like to a certain extent like corrupt and evil. Like I don't even think like his policies
all-
are very
they-
liberal.
they all are.
But O'Toole strikes me as a knob as well. I like Pierre Poilievre, if you know who that guy is. He's the guy who's you'll see him on Facebook or Instagram like always roasting Trudeau in like
What
the comment
party?
section. He's
In
conservative.
yeah, he's
from
oh, he's
Carleton.
that. Yeah,
Remember
I know
from
that guy.
Carleton?
Yeah,
I think I
He
remember seeing some
roasts him
video
to
of him.
bits on a
Yeah.
weekly
but the only
basis.
real party that is fighting for these anti-lockdowns would be the People's Party, where you have Maxime Bernier left, and now Randy Hillier, the guy that's been fighting for the
Randy
lockdowns.
Hillier's the man.
He was a conservative that left Conservatives for provincial, but he's been I noticed a lot with the People's Party stuff, jumping on that.
You know, I've seen a lot of different parties.
But they're not gonna.
I
They're
don't
not
know
gonna.
fucking shit all about Canadian politics, to be honest with you. I just know Trudeau's always fucking up.
Because like the thing is like election comes up, Liberals not ending the lockdowns, Conservatives not ending the lockdowns, Jagmeet and the NDP aren't ending it, Green Party's not. You know what I mean? There's like
no one's in lockdowns. But
like we're not really getting a
that's because
political
the fear-
party to
that's because
represent
the
our
fear
beliefs.
mongering here is to that degree where it's just like
Democracy is a sham, bro.
Yeah, it's just a figment of our
It's
imagination.
pretend. It's like to make you think you have a choice.
it's not that. It's just that the fact of the matter is like how can democracy be real when the media is controlled by certain democratic sides and they're pitching ideas to you the whole time? Like it's the illusion of free choice because you're being told that things are a certain way based on a certain like you know what I mean political siding. So when you're going to make your decision, you're not making your decision. You're making this fucking regurgitated idea that you've been told by the media the whole time. So when you're sitting there being like, "Oh my god, I'm afraid of masks," or "I have to put my mask on," that's because you've been watching CB24 every fucking day.
That's the thing. Like when
or
you
watching
argue with
CNN every
people,
fucking day.
And that's why his video goes
And that's
viral.
why you're so fucking afraid, because you're doing that shit all day instead of like looking into COVID and being like, okay, well, what's going on here? Like, why did these lockdowns work in these countries? Like, why are these things effective here and not working here? And then making a critical decision.
gotta find this stat, bro.
And
Because
that-
people just sit there and they're just like, oh yeah, like. Ford says another lockdown. They're like, okay, yeah, this will work this time. Like, why do you think that it'll work this time? It's the
Okay.
third or fourth time. Like,
But
what makes
people-
you think things will get better?
It takes
Like,
people like Sean speaking out to make people wake up because like he talked common sense into
but
people,
it
which is
doesn't,
why it gets
though.
reposted.
Because what I see Sean doing more than anything is making the people that are afraid to say something speak up. People that are already like rooted
never
in their
change
mind,
their mind.
yeah, they never change their
Yeah,
mind. But these
fair.
people that like are like super like get your vaccine and like wear your mask, like
yeah.
those people, bro. Like,
They're gone.
yeah, they're gone, bro. They're gone.
they're in the shits.
Yeah, they're fucked.
They're
Their
in the
brain,
cults. They're in the
their
cults.
brain is gone, bro. They've eaten too much shit
Like
to not like
They can
love
see
the
a
flavor.
stat in their face and just be like, "Yeah, but one life is too many." And you're just like, "Well, what the fuck?" Like, you're just like,
we're
"Well,
arguing
the
two
world
different
is actually
things."
burning, so like, what are we doing here?"
Like, what do we have? What was it, like 18 deaths for Canada like for the day or something like that? And I was just like,
Oh, thank you.
18 people dying
But
a
even
day. I'm
still,
like,
I hate that argument. One
So?
life is too many because like they ignore that argument when it comes to suicide and overdoses.
and abortion.
And vaccines.
You know what I mean? It's just like
They're like,
One life is too many is only convenient
It's
sometimes.
like a sacrifice we have to make to save other people. It's just like you're not making that sacrifice. I'm fucking 28. I don't need a vaccine. I'm healthy. I don't need that shit.
it's the same kind of thinking. Which I'll use this as an example. I know a girl, and we use this as a joke. When vegans get abortions, it's like that kind of thinking. It's like, how do you have your train of thought? Like, do you want to preserve life or not?
We're going
no,
down
but we're
the
just,
abortion.
no, we're talking about. But I mean, like in terms of like, you could have such contradictory beliefs in one aspect of something, and then like, and not even see it in a total another part of your like belief.
But that's the duality of people. Like it's not wrong for people to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
it's not
just
wrong.
funny.
But it's that same kind of
You're
thinking.
kind of
that's in COVID.
hypocritical where it's just like, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh yeah, like
It's like my body, my choice until it comes to masks, vaccines, and all this.
yeah,
other stuff.
exactly.
That's the thing. And then
exactly.
abortion supporter people will be like, I can't believe you just compared mass to abortion. It's like, I can't believe you compare my body, my choice to this. This is way more about my body, my
Yeah,
choice.
like
way more, infinitely
Yeah.
more.
Because it's only when it's convenient for whatever your personal cause is.
That's what I mean.
Well, it's a woman's movement, so that's why it's
And then I also feel like,
they're gonna feel like they're entitled to
the
something.
baby dies for certain, whereas like COVID is a potential.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed kill.
Like, it's a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, you're getting the number.
It's not a potential, so I don't know how you could even say that.
Yeah, and also with COVID,
But you
it's,
bring
just
it up
like,
and
it's
then
such a
you're the
low
asshole.
percentage kill too. It's not like abortion's like 100% body. It's like the intention of this act is to destroy. COVID might get you, and it's like you might just be fine. Just be carrying that shit and passing to other motherfuckers. Like you might get it and be mild sick. You might get it and be really sick. But the chances of you dying are actually very fucking low.
The chances of any of us actually getting really sick are low. At most, we might get some muscle aches or some shit. But
Bro, like, I'm a year into this shit. I still haven't got COVID. Like I don't even know anyone like that's actually my age, other than like one dude that I know that got
we
it.
probably
And
had
he
it
was
hit us.
asymptomatic. And
We
he's a couple
probably
years
had
older
it hit
than
us, and you were asymptomatic. But you go back to your video. So you get this video, you say fuck it, put it out, and then to your surprise, it gets we're almost at 1 million views at this point. It's getting shared and
Yeah,
spread
getting
like
pretty
wildfire
close.
within Ontario and
Yeah,
Canada.
it's been pretty cool.
So what is the aftermath? I know you said your business has got a bit of an influx with people, but there's also been some positive and negatives. You want to?
Yeah.
on
So, you know, I got like I've never had my phone blow up like this in my life, and like it's actually kind of
Most people
fucking
don't.
scary. Like I'm not comparing myself to this in any way, but
Yeah.
I can only imagine how somebody like Justin Bieber feels if he actually looked at that, because I got overwhelmed with like 1,000
One video.
messages, like one thing
Yeah.
that only got like all of his stuff gets well over 1 million.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
He has like
easily.
something like the most followers. So
Yeah.
He's
if
probably
you
got
looked at
numb.
that, you
But
couldn't
those guys
even.
don't even
You
check
couldn't
their
even.
phones,
You
bro,
couldn't
you know what I
even.
mean?
I
You're
would-
like refreshing
yeah,
your
it's too
page,
much.
and it's just like new whole bunch
They
of
have
notifications.
I
entertainment
answered
teams dealing
every
with that
fucking
shit.
person who messaged me, and I got over 1,000 messages. I was like,
But that's
I had,
good
like,
because
5 haters out
of
of
what you're
literally 1,000
talking about.
people.
At least you're willing to have a dialogue, because that's half
that's
the
the thing,
battle.
man. That's
But
like
that's the issue, bro. Is that people
can
on
find
our
common
side
ground.
are willing to have the dialogue, but the other side isn't willing to have a dialogue. I think that's the biggest issue because they just feel like our side is like we just don't care, like we just don't look at human life as being important, and I think that's the biggest. Once again, the biggest
Is
issue
it though?
about the media manipulation. It's not about caring about lives and not caring about lives, because if if it's really about lives, then you would look at all the suicides and all the mental health issues that come with all these lockdown periods.
I just
It's
don't like
people ride the
pretending.
wave,
It's
man.
not
This
about
is
lives.
the thing to care about.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
know
saying.
I mean? Like,
It's the thing to virtue signal and care about and be like, oh, I'm wearing a mask. And like, you didn't look at that video of the girl yelling at the guy for like, he's like, oh, you're not wearing a mask, but the mask is a picture of someone wearing their mask low.
and they're like, well, I still don't like it because you're not
Yeah.
following my rules.
Yeah,
And
it's just like,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
it's
not
that
gonna
type
wear a
of
mask, so I'm
mentality.
gonna tackle you.
I don't like how
So-
your mask exactly, and that's the whole thing too. People like are okay with that. Like you know what I mean, like that woman.
Let's
in
break
the bank
social
getting
distancing.
Tackled by the police. It's like, yo, like you're fine with the police tackling a 60-year-old lady over not wearing a mask. Like,
and police. And
you
shit-
actually like your brain calculates that as a normal act. Are you okay?
That's what I mean.
That's
dude.
a senior citizen.
And also, the police and a lot of these people, like business owners and especially the public, don't actually know the law. If you go into any place,
It's true.
any place,
Yeah.
and you say, minus a gym actually, because they have a membership, so it's different. But if you go, and that's why Costco can somewhat get away with it, but if you go into like a grocery store and you don't wear a mask and you say I'm exempt, they can't be like, I refuse to serve you because we don't do mask exemptions, because you're protected under the Ontario Human Rights Code under a disability.
and they have no other way to serve you either.
And even if they do, it doesn't matter, because so there's like 7 different categories. This guy Mad Dog Dad or whatever on Instagram showed me. It's legit. Like it's got all the different things that you can't discriminate someone on. It's like age, it's like sex, race, religion, and one of them is disability. So like it would be akin to, I'm not saying it's as bad as that, it's obviously not.
Not like
But
Down
like
syndrome guy
you
in a
wouldn't be
store or
like
something.
you wouldn't be like, oh, you have to shop outside because you're black, or you have to shop outside because you're gay, or we can serve you at the door. You can order everything you want. We'll make you pay outside. It falls under the same law, like legally. I'm not
Yeah.
saying morally or ethically. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
legally. So that is huge in the sense that and then they say, well, we're a private company. We can do this and we can, no, because you have a business license.
I told you that dog would be howling. If you guys hear,
I heard that was a wolf.
yeah, if you hear a wolf in the house, we just got some wolves captive in the face. Yeah. But yeah, do you have any dogs?
No.
No.
I
I have a cat.
You're a cat guy?
He's the man, yeah.
I want to get a ball cat.
Boy here.
The boy here, yes.
The boy hair. Yeah, I want
Shout
to
out
get a ball
Prince
cat,
Harry,
but
the real
never
Prince
touch
Harry.
it.
What?
I want to get a ball cat, but never touch it. Just like
ball cat?
never
What do you
pet
mean?
it.
Nick cats.
Honestly, bro, as much as I like my cats, I don't know what like a tabby is. I don't know any fucking.
You know, like the ones with no hair. You know, like a Mr. Evil cat?
Oh,
where it's just,
really?
Like those
No,
bald,
I don't
like
fuck with
no
those,
hair. It looks like testicle skin in a cat.
Yeah, it's gross, bro.
Yeah, that's why you wouldn't pet.
That's why you have a. That's why you have a cat. It's because they're fluffy. Like.
I would only want them for like potentially because they kill rodents. If you ever do accidentally get a mouse in your house, like
So
that
do dogs,
thing's
though.
gone.
Dogs
Yeah.
will kill rodents for you, too.
Your dog ain't killing shit, dog.
Nah, they're way too slow.
Your dogs
They're
are
not
certified
good.
killers, bro.
They're not good. They'll probably get one, maybe like.
Yeah. So your account hopped up. You said you got about 8,000 followers since that video. 8,000 new followers, and then how many of those have you turned into new clients, roughly? Would you say?
Oh, not even close to that. That's not how it works. I do more high ticket coaching, so I don't really do a lot of volume, but I just, you know what I mean?
High quality clients.
Yeah, because I don't want a lot of clients. I want to be able to like serve people properly. If you have 100 clients, you can't serve them properly unless
What's
you
the
hire
most
a
you
coach.
could do? What would be your max?
My max would be 50. I'm at about like 35 right now.
Really? And that would be like you peaking their energy levels to like
Yeah, and like there comes a point where you're trading off like
personal life.
and then also you can't generate leads if you have too many clients because you're busy serving those clients. Whereas like, but sometimes like I don't know. There's different ways to generate.
So what's your
clients, but-
approach? Like just say Winton, not singling you out, but just say Winton was to sign up with you for personal fitness. What would be your approach? Like walk us through like if someone was to sign up with you.
Okay, so the first thing we do is we
Demoralize them.
yeah we
Listen,
tell them
yeah,
how we
bully
tell them
it.
how shit
This
they
is
are
why
in
you
life.
need me.
But no, we would do an onboarding call. On this onboarding call, we go over a variety of things like what kind of foods you like, how many days a week you're able to exercise, what equipment you have, because 80 or
You're at home.
I'd say everybody's at home now. Pretty much everyone I'm training. So minus a few people in Texas, but sorry. But,
Shout out Texas. Freedom,
yeah.
baby.
Where I'm headed.
Yeah, straight
Texas
up.
and Florida.
Florida for me.
That's where they want you to go. Just go.
Oh,
Just
Florida.
go, Sean. You want
Bare
your
people
freedom
are
so
like move to
bad?
Texas. I'm like, I will, where I have liberty and freedom and no
Once
income
I get-
tax
once I get the
and cheap
approval.
houses and everything else good that we don't have here.
For
I mean,
now,
the
for
racism's
now.
pretty jumping, but
No, bear
Not a problem,
that's
Yeah, yeah, that's not a him
so
problem.
many people from Texas have messaged me and like because Jen and I have had a genuine concern about that. Like if we were to move
And
to
she's down for Texas too.
like
Yeah, but
she's
she's
more
Asian,
down than
bro.
I am, bro.
Wow.
she's Asian. She's not black.
So you're saying they
Or
don't have
Mexican.
Asian hate in Texas?
I'm saying that Asian hate is
Asian
like
She'll
the,
get beat up for
the
sure.
lowest
once.
level of
Yes.
person of color hate of all of
She'll
them.
get like one homeless guy beat her up one
There's
time. No
bare
big
black people in
deal.
Texas, man. Like
yeah, there
I
are, but
have-
there's also bare sundown towns in Texas.
no.
Do you know what a sundown town is?
I was speaking to a few different people at
don't.
I don't either.
For disclosure, I don't know.
Man,
what that is.
Sundown towns are towns where black people aren't
Dude.
allowed to go after night.
People in Texas have seen my
Yeah.
video and message me and be like, "Hey man, like you're more than welcome in Texas. Like I'd fucking love to
How-
have you."
There-
Like, blah,
I'm
blah,
not
blah.
saying that Texas is this place where like the Klan just roams free on horses, telling niggers to go inside at night. Like, I'm not saying that as a
There's
whole.
racist people
But I'm
everywhere,
saying
man.
that
Yeah,
yes, there's
fair.
racist,
Like
racist people
pedophiles,
everywhere.
there's pedophiles
But
everywhere.
Texas has a special breed.
If I went to like the
Of
most
racist
back,
people.
like back ass town, you know.
Yes, like
where,
yes, Peterborough has a
I'm-
chapter of the Klan, but I'm sure Texas's brand of the Klan
like,
is stronger.
In Austin, apparently is like just as liberal as here, for example.
But Austin's a major city. What I'm saying is like the Ajax of Austin won't be as nice.
I'm gonna be living in Red Rock, hopefully.
What's Red Rock? Where's
Is that
that?
Arizona?
It's like a half hour away from Austin, and it's just
The Klan capital of the U.S.
It's
They offered me like free housing and
It'll be
everything.
Healthletic with 3 Ks at the end.
That's
We like this, Sean.
No, that's pretty sick.
Got a lot of pride
How
in
long
this
would it
people.
even take for the passport? Like you think if you actually were
honestly,
serious?
bro.
You
Like
couldn't get a passport. You have to,
You're
like, you
gonna
have
do
to be
refugee.
become a naturalized citizen.
we
and all
have to
that
get a
shit.
visa,
Like how long
which
is
is the hardest thing,
like a
and we're in the
year?
process of looking at doing that. I actually emailed the guy last night. We come up with like our master plan. We've been talking to this guy for like 3 months. We should have pulled the trigger already. Anyways.
long story short?
Yeah, long story short, we laid out this plan. We're gonna ask our guy, and he's gonna work on getting it. But we already spoke to him. He said it should take about 3 to 6 months. And
Because
I'm
I was
sure-
looking into. That's why I'm asking. I was looking into it because eventually to be able to like do shows down there and get paid, to eventually
Yeah,
start
man.
like touring like when I do stand up. Because I know it's like not a easy process to get like a work visa to be able to go to the States and like start making money. I know they are pretty like you have to do it right kind of thing. You have to be like proper with it.
Mhm.
But I would do Florida.
That'd
I
be
think if I
awesome.
was to move, I would go Fort Lauderdale.
I want to go Florida too. Jen's not big on Florida, but like my number
Just
one
look at
pick
the
has always
Gators.
been Texas until my favorite, most awesome politician, fucking Ron DeSantis, is running Florida like a man. He's actually like, no, we're not doing any of this.
No
shit.
vaccine passports in
No
Florida.
vaccine
either.
passport's the biggest
Passports.
thing.
Vaccine passports. What do you think about these vaccine passports?
Bro, the
they
vaccine
want?
passport is the most criminal, most sick horrible thing you could do to a person. I think. It's
Worse than the Jew passport
No, but like
or the trans passport.
a few people got mad at me for my Holocaust reference because I'm not saying that
Jews
what we're
wanna get
doing
mad
is
about
bad.
everything. Like, oh my God, the Holocaust! Like, buddy, you guys got paid and a country. I think you can relax.
Dude.
Out of anybody that had to face some racism, no one else got a country and an arms deal, and America right up your wahoo. So, relax.
I'm not saying it's as bad. What we're dealing with right now is the Holocaust, but in that moment when I was speaking of the thing and it's saying like you can't go into this store because you don't have your papers.
Yeah, you're making a comparison.
What does that remind you of instantly?
Yeah.
You all know. So
Yeah.
like it's obviously not as worse, but
Do
it's a
we
fair
know?
Well,
comparison.
I come from Polish immigrants who actually like fled from that and like ancestors that actually died in like concentration camps. Cause,
How
like,
do you know, bro?
My grandma's uncle died. Like the family, like
I
that's
thought
why they came
I thought
here.
you had the rape line.
No, my grandma was the one who got raped, but her parents'
Oh.
brother died in the concentration camp. Yeah. Anyways, so he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
like
Anyways, yeah. So
you wouldn't watch that pod.
yeah,
Kevin's bloodline being full of rapists.
yeah. I got
It's quite interesting.
a lot of victims and a lot of offenders,
Oh,
a lot of
holy
predators.
shit,
Yeah, it's both sides. It created the family, so there's a victim that had the child of the offender. It's a lot
A
of
wild
spice.
card. Anyways, but my Polish side, my grandma said the same thing, and even yesterday we were at a Polish household with multiple Polish people, and they were saying like this is the exact kind of like behaviors, and not even in terms of just making the comparison with the
It's the
Holocaust,
steps,
even
man.
the universal basic income,
Yeah,
and
dude.
the communism. Like she was saying, she's like, her husband was a mechanic making $20 a day, as like a full-time hours as a mechanic, and she would make like $30 a day, and like. Or a week, or might have even been. I forget. Maybe I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And she was saying, and like the amount of times I've heard Polish immigrants and even ex-Holocaust survivors you see like call this out, and they're not saying like it's a
There's-
slow
yeah.
process till it leads to something like
That's
that.
exactly
It's
it.
not
They're
saying
like,
we're at that.
Just because we're not at like the gas chambers
Yeah.
doesn't mean like
There's red flags that
we
led
can
to
have the
that.
foresight to be like, what's coming's a little dangerous. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And like I
It's
think
funny how people had all that foresight for Trump with everything he was doing. They're like, oh my God, something's going to come out of this, like race war. But when they see all this COVID shit happen, they're like, nothing's wrong with giving away your freedoms. That's fine. That's okay.
freedom schmeedums, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, what's freedom? Especially in
it's
this,
nuts.
especially in communist Canada, it seems like.
Socialist Canada.
right now, currently, you're not allowed to go buy socks or underwear. Like think about that. It's not essential enough for you to buy.
And this is my whole thing.
Masks,
I
too,
understand
I saw a
because
mask
You
not
have to
doing
buy it
that.
on Amazon. Like,
We didn't do that
you know
at
what I mean?
first.
They're
Yeah.
forcing you to send the money
out
to
of
big
all the
corporations.
lockdowns, we didn't do that thing where we wrap off sections of the store and shit. That was something only America was doing. I thought it was interesting that we started doing that here now.
I saw a picture where they took off, you couldn't even buy masks. Which I thought
Yeah, that's
was
right.
But
In
you know what the
Walmart
funny
and
shit to
like
me is?
Dairy.
Them locking off like all the black women's supply stores and shit.
That's fucked up.
That's just like so blatantly.
That's so
racist.
classic.
racist.
Like you black bitches stay in your fucking house with your bonnet.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas ain't going nowhere.
You know what's even
no
crazier?
weaves, no wigs, nothing.
You know what's even crazier?
You're fucked.
Way before COVID,
Done.
remember those videos of like black hair products that were like locked up?
And the white hair
And then
products
we're
are
all
open.
like able to like grab.
It's just like what you think only niggas steal hair product? Like,
But
white people be
hypothetically,
stealing shit too.
They could have had like a lot of thefts with that product, but it was also.
I'll
sketch
tell
as
you
fuck.
right now, anytime that I went shoplifting with my friends, it was my white friends that stole. Like I didn't steal because I was too
Anytime
afraid.
the only black guy
Because
here,
I'm the only black
time
guy.
I
I'm
went
like, they're gonna get
shoplifting-
me. They're
Honestly-
gonna think it's me, and it was never me. But
Yeah.
you know, the white
This-
guy was stealing everything.
This is kind of fucked up, but I'll kind of tell it. Back in grade 9 high school, my boy, shout out Luke or Tuker. You know Luke?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
everyone
so-
knows fucking Luke
So
and
we
shit,
used to
man.
go, not just him, but like we would go into like a convenience store by here.
You tell me
Around here, I
Luke
went to
and Tucker would be
Dog.
going to stores and stealing and shit.
And we would go as groups, but like we had Luke go.
I'm fucking retarded. You think I stole this?
Yeah, exactly. The guy wouldn't even confront
That's
him.
fucked up.
And he would just play like the most dumb, and it was just like we're just like this is so like unethical. Like
That's so funny.
We go
like,
as, like,
knowing you're
15
slightly
kids.
retarded and going and stealing shit and being like, I'm retarded, dude. But you're not that retarded. You actually know better. That's crazy.
Oh, you're like
Shitty
that.
light, buddy.
I know. I was like, what the fuck? Shout out DB Visuals, shitty lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
We should have hired those other guys. I don't know who those guys are, but
What about some backlash? You said you
hired
have
them.
gotten some backlash. You want to touch upon
barely
the
any.
backlash?
Do we want to like expose the
I-
people?
Don't
so
say
people
names.
know?
Let's not say
no,
names,
no,
but
no.
let's explain some of the backlash because it's good to hear both sides of the reaction.
Honestly, like I've had probably
Fuck you, Kelly Bowman. No, I'm sorry, that was on me. Shout out, thanks for the nurses. Kelly's a family friend. We good. I love you, Kelly.
Yeah, she doesn't like me anymore.
Whatever. Nurse is overrated.
Me and Kelly have had a love-hate relationship all of our life. We're on and off. And that being said,
Anyways, yeah, I had like
wanna
probably
put
like
it in boss.
5 people message me out of the whole thing, like actually like really mad, and then I'd say like 4 of them.
5 out of 800,000 views isn't bad.
Right? Like, I didn't get a lot of backlash at all, and I got a lot of love.
And what were they
Bare
saying?
people being like, yo, like, I've been thinking this, like, so many, like, sad
But people are also
stories,
pussies
like,
too, though. Because I think people that
No,
probably
bare
want
people
to
have
What
say
were they
fucked up
saying
stories,
exactly?
bro.
Like, what were the responses?
But people definitely want to say something that were just too shook to say something too, because they're just like, I don't want to like affect my relationship with Shaun, or like, you know what I mean?
No one
Like,
gives
there's
a fuck
definitely
at this point.
people that were like that. But like, yeah, it's like, most people that were fine with saying shit to you were fringe friends.
No,
People
but
that you
what-
know from school, but like you don't hang out with, and didn't even in school. You just
What?
would say hi to them. The people
He's
that were,
saying
like,
no one that actually cared
yeah,
about
people
you.
that like were like mad, like, you know what I mean? People that were like that have
Context.
been like against what you've been saying per se. Are people
Or
that like
did
you
you? Did
know?
you have anyone close to you that actually got upset?
yeah, I've had a few people.
Yeah,
who
I
are
mean,
not
yeah.
happy.
I mean,
And what do
But,
they say? Like, what's like the narrative
like-
that's
like-
coming from them?
You know, it's just you hear a few different things. You're like, oh, you know, this could hurt your business and hurt your reputation. Shows that you don't care about others. Blah, blah,
Defending
blah.
physical fitness and defending gyms
Yeah,
is probably
just
better for a
defending
personal
how
trainer.
to actually take care of your health. Yeah, definitely don't care about people who do this for like no money for the longest time. Yeah, definitely hate it.
But all those people, you
people-
just be like,
people
well, I
think
gained
doctors
this,
know
this, and
about
this
health,
clients
though.
into this video. So this actually was a great business move on my end. I gained way more exposure. I got way more followers. More people like tuned into me as a business decision. How
well, it
much
did-
better PR
it
could
did
you
work.
got?
It did work out like way better. in your
8,000
favor.
know what
followers.
the-
You
Like
can't
I
pay
said,
for that.
I didn't think it would work out like this for him at
Okay,
all.
The
But, you know?
the catalyst to this happening is I joined.
Match.com. Shout
Yeah.
out Grinder. He joined Grind.
I joined a business group, and like me and Jen paid quite a bit of money to be into it. And like one of the biggest things, like their whole thing is
You
like
want to show to
about-
the group? Are you allowed to?
I don't know. I
Is
did
it like an
sign a
open
lengthy
network group?
contract. No,
Okay. You know, some
I-
of them are like
I don't-
open
yeah,
network.
I don't know.
groups? Okay.
but they're cool. If
Yep.
people want who would know who it is, message me. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But fuck, what were we talking?
You were
about?
on the business network group with your girl.
Oh yeah, and then they're all about authentic attraction, and which basically means like literally be your most authentic self, and your tribe will find you.
That's like the Joe Rogan kind of theory. Just
That
be true
and
to yourself.
it works, bro. Like I've literally I've been in this course for 2 months now. I post literally whatever the fuck I want. I used to be told, "Oh, you shouldn't post that stuff about you playing soccer. Like it should be fitness all the time." Like no.
Like I fucking like soccer.
I
I'm
do
gonna
whatever
post
the
a
fuck.
bit,
I
yeah.
post what I want to post, and I am who I want to be. And like,
Unfollow if
I
you
don't
don't
have
like
to.
it.
I don't have to hide that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
100%.
They shouldn't have to.
Nice, though.
And you and your girl do these together?
do which? Sorry.
This
course?
business group. Do you guys have a business together?
It's a course. It's 6 months long, and it was like 21K American. So
Wow.
yeah.
So worth it. But do you
Jesus
and your girl?
Christ.
Is it one business you own together, or
Yeah.
you separate trainer? Okay.
Yeah, we co-own.
So
it.
if your own separate business. Nice.
No,
and-
it's
Which
we
means
co-own it. We
realistically-
Oh,
co-own it.
co-own it.
Like you guys could hire more personal trainers
Eventually, like
and have them all like, you know, because you said you want to have your 50-person threshold and get a bunch of trainers.
exactly, you
at
could
that
you could hire a
same-
couple coaches, and then
Yeah,
they take the
exactly.
load off your plate, and that's the plan, man.
Yeah. So what
You
is like the
build it.
10-year long
And
term?
then you kind of make a cut off the
That's
top.
That's like probably the 2-year plan, I'd say.
Where do you want to see? It's like best case scenario. Where do you see yourself with your career in terms of fitness and?
They're trying to be like bodybuilding.com.
I don't want to be somebody
Yeah.
like the thing is right now, like you obviously change your mind as you grow. You want more things.
Yeah, things
but like
change. You have kids, it changes.
I've always been somebody who like I'm content with the basics, like a house that I like to live in a neighborhood that I could raise kids in a decent car, and be able to afford all the shit I want to do with my friends and travel. Like if I can have that much money, which is not like out of this world, that's probably like 120K a year.
For just you?
For just me, and then Jen, who
How-
makes more money than me.
Yeah. So that's
And
what
your company, you could
talking about
work
living
remotely
very
from
comfortably.
Texas right now.
Sorry.
Like hypothetically, you could up and lift at work anywhere and
He can
not
live
lose
anywhere he
clients.
wants to because your business is online. So you could literally
And-
live in fucking Iceland if you wanted to.
Exactly.
That's
in
ideal.
Texas, the currency is higher, and their things in like what I can get away with charging in Canada. You can get like there's people in our business group, and like maybe I'm just like undercutting myself, but they charge crazy American prices, and like they get it. Like this one guy, his thing is like $1,000 a month. I'm like, damn, I'd like to get there one day. You know what I mean? So, but like if I was to ask someone for $1,000 in Canada, you'd probably be like, nah.
So what?
But
What
American
about?
people, I have.
So what
mar-
about
the
high end
market's different in the
clients? Like
States.
just say like I'm like I won't go Drake. That's big. Or even like just say you're like a really wealthy
the
man.
top-
Like a Fred Van Fleet.
Yeah,
Dude.
and like I want to hire you, or even like a celeb. Just say I'm like I blow up in comedy. I'm killing it, and I'm like, yo, man, I just need like my trainer. I'm hitting the road all the time, but I want to stay fit while I'm on the road. Like, because that would be like the biggest clients like personal trainers would want, like these like celebrity clients, or not even celebs, but like
Honestly,
high end.
Like my kind of dream client would be an athlete for sure.
Like a professional athlete, yeah.
Professional athlete, and like what
What
I would
sport?
like to do is like, probably like basketball or football,
Okay,
I'd
yeah.
say, and then soccer is my favorite sport, but like those have always been my favorite athletes because I feel like they're the best athletes.
And you can see the end product. You know, you can see them get better on the field because of like, oh, their sprint. They got that extra step.
I like to
there.
do like the full job, like literally like you do the nutrition, you do this, like you do like the whole 9 yards and see.
Would
how
you ever
far
want to
they
work
go.
for a team?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
that was like one of my other dreams that I want to do. This has like been totally different. It's not what I expected to do, but I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, like I've always liked like the personal contact, especially like with an athlete. And like I train a few athletes who are younger, but like a pro athlete's obviously different. Shout out Logan, my boy. He's like 13. He's
Nice.
fucking dope. You've probably seen him if you watch my.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos.
He's really athletic, and he started like very skinny, had an injury like every other week because his feet were all fucked up and shit, and like now he's a dope little athlete, and it's pretty sick, and like he's like killing it on all these teams, and he's like very like undersized because he's just like he hasn't hit puberty yet, and he's like 13. He's like his voice is like just starting to change, but he's growing into being a dope athlete, bro. He does some sick things.
And I used to be an equipment manager from like junior A to I was in the OHL for a bit, so I've been
That's
around
sick.
these strength coaches, and I've seen the difference between, I'm not gonna give any names obviously, but the bad ones where your team does get a lot of injuries, or like after training workouts they're sore on game day. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain level of like way to train where like you're not compromising strength building and like performance on game days. And then I've seen the difference between having those quality people in there where like they know how to manage the people and not overwork them. Because it's crazy to see some strength coaches are just so negligent with their athletes.
It's like,
We're
all right, we need to see who can
max
squat
your
600.
yeah,
It's
let's
not
max
even
your
about
deadlift, and we have game 6 of the playoffs
shit
tomorrow.
can be
You know?
seen to the highest level. Like, you know, people give a lot of shit to Tom Thibodeau, who was the coach of the Bulls during the Derrick Rose era. And they say that he's part of the reason why Derrick
Didn't
Rose was so
manage
injured,
minutes?
because the minute management. They say
I've heard it
That's
was
a serious thing, man.
overworks players.
I
so-
heard. Are you into this like GOTA stuff?
I'm
It's
not
like
sure what that is.
GOATA. I don't know. It's like So I know this one guy's a trainer. He talks a lot about it. It's like people that run, fixing your form when you run or like land.
okay,
so
okay,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
like properly. It's that kind of shit. Because apparently Derrick Rose was more like he was landing very unhealthy, like not a great
the
landing.
way Derrick Rose would land was terrible.
Where they
because
could
he
have
would
fixed
land-
that earlier and potentially saved
Listen, bro,
himself.
it's not about that. Like, dunking, there's a flair in dunking of why guys land on 1 foot like that. You're not supposed to. Like, you're supposed to go up and land on 2 feet, but guys land on 1 feet because there's a certain flair to the way it
crowd's
looks.
going.
It looks sexy. It's
Yeah,
just like,
it looks way sexier.
You
yeah.
slam down, step over someone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you come down on 1 foot and it's just this power. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
a
like
dominant
it has the
thing.
same
It's like,
feel
yeah.
as like when you see a superhero hit the ground. Like, they're always 1 foot down and then
Or
the
the
knee.
Spider-Man
like,
landing.
They don't
like,
land, they don't land on 2
The
feet.
ground
like,
crack.
There's
You're
no
just like-
superhero
So
that
that's
lands
not a
2
healthy
feet flat.
landing.
No.
The Spider-Man landing, you'd say.
Yeah.
As a personal trainer.
No, well, yeah.
I think the Spider-Man landing because like you even it out with your arm and your leg.
Yeah, you
I think
kinda
it's like
spread the load
you're
a bit.
displaced.
You
I don't
choose your
know.
seat.
He kind of
Probably
lands like
not.
he doesn't land on 1 foot. He kind of lands like spread out, kind of. You know what I mean? But like most superheroes with the cape, like this, they land like 1 foot down, like kind of.
So you played
1 foot
soccer growing up? That was
No,
like
I
your-
honestly played no sports growing up. I was very unathletic.
So when did
skinny.
White as
you
paper.
find the passion into it?
In weight training? Shout out to Mr. Martini and Mr. Kramer.
I went to school with his son.
Yeah, he's
Michael
Mr.
Martini
Martini was the
Elementary.
man, and Mr. Kramer too. And I did weight training there, and then, yeah, it was dope. He got me into working out, and then I came back the next year, and like I kind of like helped out because I was taking a higher grade. Part of the thing was like you have to like teach the younger youths how to train and shit, and like so it was pretty cool. Did
Yeah,
that.
that is it. And then you found the passion with training someone. And
Yeah, and I did one of those like personality type things. I was told to go into like either like social work or fitness and health promotion at Durham, which I did that.
nice.
Sean working with the kids.
Remember
and
the
shit?
personality trait training?
I know,
Mine's
like,
a gym
imagine-
teacher. I remember. I was like, that would be nice. But like,
That'd be
You
decent.
just don't get paid too bad.
what would yours say, Winston? I'm curious what yours recommended you do.
I can tell you what people have expected me to be.
It says criminal. It
No,
just says
a lot
like,
of people told me that though. A lot of people
no, I mean like the
told me that
actual
way.
personality test is not gonna say criminal on
No,
there.
but like a lot of it, it's usually like actor.
I think it'd be
or,
something
like,
to do with like.
I've gotten
music
like
for you.
minister and shit. You know what I mean?
you
Like,
would be like a minister.
You'd be like a beat producer or a singer. I think.
I don't want to be a beat producer. I've wanted to do certain things within the entertainment industry, but like for me, it's like I'd rather be behind the scenes than be in the spotlight. That's
How did you two become friends? Like when did you guys become friends?
I don't even know what or
met-
why we became friends.
It's like we had like friendly circles,
Yeah.
and we became friends on Twitter, and then we just like I remember we
When like what
when
do
I
you
was
say?
in college, probably the first year, because I remember like
just had
So I'm saying,
get
I
off the
actually
bus and I'd go to
couldn't
Winston's
say
house and hang
when
out.
me and Sean became friends.
It was just
I
like
actually have no idea.
it was like a social media
I can
thing.
remember the
turned
day
friendship.
where I just like Sean just like popped up at my house one day. And I was just like, okay, who the fuck's this kid? Like,
Yeah.
I literally have no idea. I couldn't even tell you the year.
Yeah, I mean,
We just like
that was a while ago.
We've just been friends for a while. Like,
Yeah, because I think where I actually first met you was probably at the Black Lives Matter march.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that so there's proof I went.
there's pictures. People know you were there.
I know, that's why I didn't wear a mask. Everyone else was wearing a mask. I was like, yo, fuck that shit there.
They gotta
They
know
need
that
to see the space out
I'm
here.
there.
That's
I'm
when
an
I
ally.
first
They have
met
to
you.
know I'm an ally.
What year are you? 91?
92.
92. Oh, so you're
You're
you're older than me.
Yeah, you're
Oh, really?
93.
Baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what high school did you go to?
Pickering High.
Pickering,
Yeah, my sister went to Pickering. You probably know my sister, Krista.
Krista,
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I guess you would because of Kelly. No, the fucking.
No, I actually know Krista a lot more.
Yeah, how do you know my sister?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't really know
Through
Kelly.
Tara.
Yeah, how do you know my sister, bro?
Through
Yeah.
Tara Roberts in elementary school.
I used
Like,
to have a big crush on her. I remember when I was like in elementary.
she's cool as fuck.
Yeah, she lives in like Australia now, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She actually was disagreeing with me on my post, but like
She would.
we
be, eh?
we were being very respectful and going back and forth.
What does she
She's
do for a
cool.
living? Anyway, she like,
I think she's a physiotherapist.
and she just really wasn't into that.
She was into the same space as me, and she's very smart.
and she's just not into. She's not into.
I like that.
She's into lockdown. She's a really like let's stay home kind of person.
Yeah, but she's in Australia where they actually did a real lockdown. But she said, like, I can understand why you're frustrated because the lockdown's not even remotely the same. It's like, if you look at it, it's not a lockdown. And, like, people be like, I'm for the lockdown. You look at it, it's like all the big spaces are allowed to exist and all the small spaces aren't allowed to exist. And, like, there's certain things that are picked on that don't make sense. Like, why this thing and not everything?
Yeah,
You know
why
what I
can
mean?
you?
Doesn't,
Well,
like-
even here, why can you go golfing but outdoor dining
you.
isn't safe? You know what I mean?
I say that's the highest level of white privilege. Like,
That is. That's
you
what
can
I've
go
been
golfing, but
joking.
you can't go like play basketball on a ball court.
As
like,
long as you can
that's-
afford to.
That's disrespectful.
That's
As long as if you
obnoxious.
can afford a set of clubs, a golf membership, and the card and the tee time,
But
you
it
can
also
go
just shows
outside.
you like the world's elite are all
And
golfers.
$85, like, fuck.
You know what I mean? All those politicians are golfers.
'Cause
For them,
all
like,
their boys
you can't
probably own
shut
clubs.
down them going golfing.
Well, the thing is with the gyms and
And
everything.
golfing's a way how those people socially get together. Like, how they talk business without people being known behind the boardrooms.
Yeah,
That's
no
what golf
bugs.
is used for.
you know,
Open course, yeah, no bugs type shit. So it's, you know what I mean? It's not surprising.
but you
they're
know what's
gonna
crazy?
ban
Because
golf.
the people that are making the decision to close it down, that's their form of wellness, and they can see the value in that. But they don't see that same value in gyms, which is the majority of
They're
people.
like, you want to play soccer in the field with your friends?
Yeah.
Oh, gym
trying to kill somebody?
Gym closed is outrageous because anyone that goes to a gym knows how it is. Like, you go to the gym throughout the year, you have people that are always in the gym.
Yeah.
They go to the gym. You have people that are seasonal. Like, they might be there for, like, a bit of the fucking
Before
New
the
Year.
summer or New Year's, yeah.
Exactly. Then you have your people that, like, you know what I mean, try their best, but, like, they're busy, but you still see them in the gym often enough. People are not, they're not going to get COVID in the gym like that. People are going to bring COVID to the gym and people that don't go to the gym at all. That randomly decide, like, I'm going to get into this little spurt, like, it's a new year. Those are the ones who are going to bring COVID to the gym.
The
The
people
rest
that
of
are
those
texting on the fucking
people that
bench
go
for
to the gym,
25
yeah,
minutes.
people that go to the gym that are there all the fucking time are living a certain kind of lifestyle already, are trying to live a certain kind of lifestyle. They're not going to get affected by COVID because they're not going out and doing
There
a lot
are
of the same
some,
things.
it's just so rare that it's like you can't apply this blanket statement to, and I'm not one of these people who be like, oh, we need to lock up the elderly. Like, let the elderly make their own choice, whatever they want to do. It all comes down to being able to
They're
have
the
your
ones
own
not wearing their
choice.
masks you see in half these videos.
Well,
It's
I'm
like
just-
usually
I'm just
elders.
Dude,
saying-
my granddad's one of them, and he's
Yeah,
the fucking man. He's like, this is a
exactly.
bunch of bollocks. Like, I like
Bollocks. That's what white guy said.
That's what my,
Is he English?
He's English.
Yeah.
He's a G, bro.
Does he have an accent?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah?
He's the man, bro. My granddad's like one of my favorite.
Is he a
humans.
royal family? Is he saying R.I.P. Prince Philip, or is he saying "fuck that twat"? Oh, that was an awful British accent. I don't know. what
Honestly,
accent
I don't
that-
know. My mom's like super into the monarchy. I tell her it's whack, but
She upset about Prince Philip,
oh, buddy, devastated.
but is she upset about DMX too, or just Prince Philip?
No, my family. My family's in the group chat, the English group chat, and they're like, "Oh my god, such a horrific day! Like terrible, sad face, crying." and then I was like,
He's
"DMX
like,
died."
agreed.
And my
DMX
uncle
died.
Ian, who's a pretty big joker, he's just like, well, like I looked up DMX because I was curious, and like he just lists like all the things he's been arrested for, and he's just like, oh, like it was
what is it even for? Like drugs,
bare bad
rape,
things. It's like criminal. It's like animal cruelty. Fucking
fighting.
like dog fighting, like aggressive driving, like
That's how Rough Riders roll.
DMX is the man though. I've listened to him nonstop for 3 days, and I've always been a big fan.
You see trying to cancel DMX, like, oh, his lyrics are homophobic. It's like, buddy, you know
Yeah.
what hip hop was in the 90s?
Yeah, I was listening to his
Bro, the
playlist.
people who argued with me the most on my video were younger Gen Z type people who have literally been coddled since the time they were born, and literally
Participation trophy.
The
kid.
they
iPad
literally
generation.
think the government's job is to look after you and to protect your safety. That's what they've been taught in schools. Like, that's not what government is.
That's
to
not
me.
what history tells us.
Exactly, right? Like, so these kids, they don't know because they have no what, like, and they were smart kids. Like, they were arguing their point well, but I was like, you honestly just don't have enough wisdom to understand the
Yeah,
world.
not enough life experience and shit.
You haven't talked to people who struggled through the things you're kind of pushing.
Like, the lockdown is decimating for everyone. It's not like a little bit bad and we can just all suck it up. Like, it's fucking people's lives up for a year.
Unless you're the owner of Deco, Doug Ford, and
Yeah.
you make a labeling company that's
And you'd
fucking
be like, you guys are a bunch of wackos. Like, you trying to go to work? Like,
Yeah, let's shut down
am,
companies,
actually.
make you fucking pay for a bunch of signage. I'm the company that provides the signage.
Why would you not want to go to work?
I
That's what they get to
have
ask
to
these people
work.
though. Like,
I could be
like,
on CERB right now. I
you
lost
know-
my
you
job
have
through the
to
pandemic.
ask
I could just
those
be chilling on
people-
CERB
But
this
you
whole
said,
year.
fuck that, I'm going to make my own
that
way.
care so much
Yeah.
about lockdowns. Like, why do you not want to go to work? Like, don't you need this shit? Are you just fine with being poor?
People fucking are more
Is your
than
savings
happy.
that great? Because from what I've heard, like,
Dude,
a majority of Canadians,
I
People
think,
are more
I
than
think
happy to have
Canadians
it.
would like socialism and like just the ability to be like, yeah, like you can just give me a little bit
I
a
think
month and I'll
free,
stay.
No,
home.
but
I think free healthcare has spoiled us. Maybe that we're just like we're just so lazy.
No, to be honest, I think if you're depressed, you like the idea of everyone else being brought down with you. I think you're in that depressed mind state.
Yeah, It could be
There's
a crap
something
about the
comforting.
thing.
We're like, oh, everyone
be
else
that.
can't go out because like they hate seeing people go out and enjoying life. Usually they're looking at stories, they're doing the thing. Now everyone's in
Honestly,
lockdown.
I
it's
can't
like-
say that though because when
it's
I'm
a
depressed, I don't
subconscious.
feel like I want everyone else to be depressed.
Yeah, but
I
you're
feel
not like that. But there's people that
There are people
are.
that are like that,
There's
yeah.
people that are like terminally like you have maybe waves where you go up and down, but there's people that are like are in this nonstop like dread. Their life's in the
Eeyore?
shits. They see everyone else's lives come down to closer to their part, and that gives them a form of comfort. It helps it ease their situation. And then seeing everyone out there fucking at the clubs, popping bottles every night. We're doing our things. I'm doing my stand-up shows. He's out
hater
there
in
training
general.
people.
I don't
People
know.
see that, and if you're depressed, you're like, fuck, I'm doing nothing with my life. But now everyone's like fucking stuck at home and sadder.
I see that and I get so jealous and I'm like, I want that here. Like when I see what happens
In
in Texas
Texas,
and
yeah.
Florida, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
posted
holy
the
fuck,
game
bro.
and the game
the
and
full
I,
capacity to
and I was
Jay's
just
game
like, so they took off their masks and they're wide open. So what do you guys think about this? And everyone's just like, that actually makes me nauseated to look at that. Like I feel
Nauseated.
nervous.
But there's
I
some
was
people
like,
wearing
you
masks
don't need
still.
to go then.
Yeah.
But let people who want to and who aren't.
There's clearly
scared.
a
Like, I
stadium
don't-
full of people willing to risk their lives for the game.
Yeah, but it's not about you. It's about others. So ruin everyone's else life in the process. Like, no.
Yeah, quit smoking cigarettes for the benefit of others. I gotta be
That's
That's
that.
what I
all-
mean. Like,
If you're that person that feels that way, that you're so afraid, then don't link up with people. If you're just like, oh my god, like my friends went to a concert, I can't hang out with them. Like then do that. Like no one's telling you that you can't do that. It's just you can't sit there and be like, I want everyone's life to be policed because I'm afraid of COVID because everyone told me it's the big bad wolf. That's my issue with it. It's like people should have that freedom to make their own choices and be like, I want to go to this concert. I want to wear
Exactly.
a mask or not. Like that's like I said, that's my issue with it.
I think we need to spend more time on the vaccine passport. What do you think? Like, because think about that. You wouldn't be able to go to a Raptor game without your vaccine passport. That actually makes me sick. To my fucking
Okay,
stomach.
here's
said
where
from the
I
get-go,
think-
like I will have those passports. Like,
No,
I
not even
promise
that.
you, like, I'm
Here's
not-
where I
but
think
like
that
just
changes.
say like there was no forging it. Just hypothetically, like you were put into that situation where you're like, I have to go something that I'm so strong morally against, but like I want to be able to.
No,
enjoy
here's
the
how
fine
I think
things
this
in
plays
life.
out.
It creates a two-tier society, man.
This
It's fucked up.
this vaccine passport's going to play out like this. It's going to go back to economics. There's a big wave of people who are not going to get vaccinated. People are going to realize that you're hurting your own business, and money always wins at the end of the day. Once like countries realize that that's a bad tourist move to shut down all tourists, like because Mexico is going to be the one country to be like, you don't need a vaccine passport. Their tourism's going to be bumping.
They need to understand
Money
that people,
always wins at the end of the
people
day, and
can
there's enough
only
people who don't
spend-
want it. And I
like,
think that's how it plays out.
like you're saying, like
Yeah, that's
vacation
a
places
positive
like
thinking.
Mexico
I
and
honestly-
Caribbean like,
that
are
makes
mad
sense.
cheap, right? So it's like people can only
The market
afford to
always
go
wins.
out there and spend a certain amount of money. Like they're not gonna spend money on the fucking vaccine, doing all that shit. So you can't like, you know what I mean? If you have money for a Mexico vacation, you don't have money for a England vacation. Is what I'm saying. It's two different
Yeah, it's levels.
money levels. You know what I mean? So someone who can go to England can say, "Fuck it, I'll get this fucking vaccine," and tiddly fucking win can go on with my life. Like someone's going to Mexico is like, yo, is this my 6 bills?
But nothing's
Oh,
more
we
than
can-
nothing says
you know,
Toronto man
inclusion.
more than man's pulling up to the Raptors game with their fake vaccine cards to get in.
Jeez,
Bubble jacket guys are
Like,
chopping
sir,
vaccine
like-
cards, vaccine cards.
Just a written piece of paper. It's like vaccinated.
There's
I'm like,
scalpers out there. Who needs a vaccine card? Who needs a vaccine
It's
card?
a Presto card the whole time.
That's
But,
jokes.
Sean, thanks for coming on. Where can everyone follow you?
At Shaun Sidey PT, ShaunSideyPT, and follow my girlfriend too, Tiny Fit Jen, spelled like Tiny Fit Jen.
Do you have a
with one
YouTube
N.
or anything to subscribe to or anything
yeah,
else?
we do. I believe
Website?
it's called Healthletic Coaching. It's got like all sorts of like exercise demonstrations and shit on there.
Health-
You guys
Athletic
are on
coaching?
Facebook too, right?
Yeah, Facebook too. Just find us on Shaun G Sidey and Jennifer Charisma.
Jennifer Charisma. And your website?
Is healthleticcoaching.net.
Athleticcoaching.net. Follow CringeKev.
Yeah, the Jack's veteran.
And we out here. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sean.
Peace. Thank you.